We're joined by Coach Gary Gilmore, players Nick Parker and Reece Maniscalco. We'll let Coach open up with a statement, and then we'll go to the players from there.
Just sum up the whole entire day. It was just wow. Kids played incredibly hard, incredibly good. We pitched great majority of the time, and the offense, really took a lot of pressure off of us and did some things. We came from behind it against the Virginia team, and then tonight in this game we were able to jump ahead and give ourselves a little space. And Nick Parker, he pitched one of the best games he's pitched in his career here. I mean, he was in command of everything he did, and just pitched awesome.
Questions for the players?
And Nick, when did you have a sense that you were feeling it today? I mean, how long did you feel it pretty quickly, or did you know after a while that, hey, this may be something for me?
I think just getting through that first inning was the biggest step for me, because it was definitely the crowd. You can definitely feel it. So I think once I got through that first unscathed, I knew I was going to settle in and kind of just do what I do.
Did you state your case at all, staying in the full game to ninth inning? I mean, obviously you came out in the eighth, but.
Yeah, I tried to hide from Beverland there in the bottom half of that eighth, but he kind of found me. But I think it was the right call. I know when you're in the game, you feel fine, but it was definitely the right call to go to Reece there.
Hey Nick, Coach Godwin talked about just your ability to kind of manipulate that fastball, cut it, sink it. I mean, how do you kind of describe the way you're able to change that pitch, and how effective was that for you today?
I think it was that cutter slider was definitely the best pitch I had going for me. It's kind of evolved as the season's gone to be a little bit harder, and just the confidence to throw it hard and be aggressive with everything has just been real helpful lately.
When the umps came and checked you in the middle of that inning, did they give you any extra juice right there?
No, not any extra juice. It was funny. The one umpire though came out and he was like, he asked me what kind of shoes I had on, and I was like, Under Armour. And he's like, I'm just playing with you. Just be relaxed.
Did they say what they were checking or what they were looking for?
Not really. They said they were just doing like a check. So I don't know. I was kind of just going with it.
Hey Reece, what do you feel about where the bullpen is at this point going into tomorrow, knowing it's all hands on deck? I mean, how does that group feel right now after this one?
It's actually exactly what we planned for. I mean, obviously we would have loved to win that first game, but we knew we have a good enough pitching depth, and with the way we used our arms in the past, 3 games, I think we couldn't be in a better spot.
Any more questions for the players?
Nick, you were out there, like you were kind of talking to yourself. Is that your normal routine, or is that more just pitching this environment, like calming yourself down a little bit? What was that?
Well, I definitely talk to myself a lot. I kind of just tell myself to be aggressive. I probably look a little psychotic out there. But especially with like the crowd noise, just keep talking to myself. I got a couple words that I always say to myself, and just saying that over and over again kind of just keeps me where I need to be.
Nick, this is a pretty loud crowd. What was it like to go out there and silence a crowd? Even sometimes that's more fun than being at home and hyping your own crowd up, right?
Yeah, playing for the silence is a little bit different than playing for the roar. But the crowd is definitely one of the most fun times I had going out there. They're pretty loud, and you can kind of feel it in the ground. But it's not like those Eagles games back home.
Last question.
Reece, you talked about it after the last presser or last win. A lot of senior guys that they're playing for each other, and this might be it for you guys. How do you carry that over into one more game, since we played 2 long games here today?
I mean, I think it shows with everybody, like, we're just couldn't be more motivated to keep this thing rolling. No one wants to, hang up the spikes, and we got a lot of guys that these could be the last baseball games we play, and like I said, no one wants to see that happen.
All right. Thanks, guys. Questions for Coach Gilmore?
Hey Gilly, obviously, how do you feel you're sitting up with regards to your pitching tomorrow?
We'll see when we get back to the hotel, and I figure we'll find enough guys to cover 9 innings if we can get some outs. If blast us all over the park, it may get ugly, but, you know, I think we, you know, I think they'll, you know, we'll sprinkle some magic dust on them tonight, and some of them arms will feel a little bit better knowing they got a chance to go to a super regional tomorrow if they win. And, you know, so one thing I do want to say, I mean, you know, that atmosphere out here, I mean, we played at LSU and Texas A&M. I mean, they got some incredible fans here, and the support here is unbelievable. And what Cliff's team's done, I mean, winning 20 games in a row is incredible. You know, I mean, I've coached a long time. You know, that's an incredible run. They got a lot of great pieces out there. You know, tonight would just happen to be, you know, one of those times when it all fell for us. You know, so you know, tomorrow. Crazy thing about baseball, no matter how good you play one day, you gotta, you know, that's why 20 in a row is incredible what they did. You know, we gotta be able to respond back again. We have to do it again tomorrow. So, you know, it'll be a heck of a battle. I know they'll come ready to play.
Coach, hell of a comeback in the first game, but you had 2 hours off. How did you keep the guys energized and keep from getting complacent after a big win in game one?
I mean, you know, it just we had an older team in 2016 that just the camaraderie was incredible, and most of them had been there 4 years. And we've got a solid group of guys that have been here 3 and 4 years, but the influx of 4 or 5 fifth-year portal guys and their maturity has, honestly, it's, you know, second half of the season, it really started to turn the corner, you know, and, you know, we were floundering for about half the year, and then all of a sudden got everybody well, and we started playing better, and we just picking up momentum, and, you know, and then we'd win 4 or 5, and then you know, we got 10 runs a couple times after a couple games like that. And it's like, what is going on? We never could put that streak together like what Cliff's team has done, you know. But you know, this is a short series. It's, you know, and you know, we're at a point now where you know, all comes down to tomorrow on both sides.
With Nick kind of having pitched in, I guess, about 2 weeks or so, what were you kind of expecting out of him coming into this game?
You know, I mean, he's a guy that, honestly, I think sometimes, you know, I thought Noor today, that's by far the most he's struggled in any outing all year long. He couldn't land anything secondary. I think he only landed 2 or 3 off-speed pitches the whole time he was out there today. And, you know, that definitely crept into my mind, you know, have we laid him off too long? But, I mean, we inter-squatted with him on Sunday. He threw, I don't know, he threw 50, 60 pitches on Sunday, and, you know, he was pretty good. And, you know, I felt like at least, you know, it was more like a normal thing. We just didn't push him real far, you know. And so, you know, I wasn't really worried about him not being good. I mean, he was exceptionally good tonight. I mean, he threw strikes with every pitch, you know. I mean, very few pitchers, anybody's ever pitched, they'll tell you, numbers of times in your life you go out there and you land almost everything you throw. It just doesn't happen very often. So, you know, he was really good tonight.
Coach, how much do you think the momentum from the comeback win against Virginia carried over into the start of tonight's second game?
Oh, I think probably a whole lot. You know, believe it or not, even though we got older guys, we've never won something together. You know, so I mean, we're learning each time we do this. I mean, that was huge to beat Virginia. You know, they were a national champion 5 or 6 years ago. I mean, the kids know it, and you know, they knew being able to come back too. You know, that was something this team had struggled with a lot during the course of the year. Once we got behind, especially later in the game, we really struggled to come back, and you know, we've turned the corner with that a little bit over the last half of the year.
You know, Coach, it's big when a team believes that they can accomplish something, and it just seems over the last couple of days, this team seems to be believing that regardless of the situation, y'all can come out on top. Is that a sense you're getting right now? Is there's a belief?
Absolutely. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind there are going to be 2 teams that show up here at 1 o'clock tomorrow that both believe. You know, you don't win 20 games in a row and not believe. I can tell you that right now. So, you know, that part, you know, at the end of the day, it's going to come down to who plays the best tomorrow. You know, simple as that. Whoever pitches and plays and hits the best, that's who's going to win the game tomorrow.
Feel good to be in a regional final for the first time since 16. That worked out for you.
Yeah, well, you know, that one worked out okay. You know, I'm hoping we get one more shot before I get too old and have to quit doing this.
I think you got a while, Coach.
Sound good. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.